New Gods on FBI 94.5. That was Razorblade, and they will be supporting local natives tonight at the Metro. And it's so funny that I said that because we have Ryan and Taylor from the said band in with us today. How are you guys going?
Very good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You arrived on our shores this Monday, and you were just saying that you actually missed Mother's Day because you were flying over on the Sunday. That's got to be
It
hard to
completely
handle.
disappeared out from under us during the flight.
That's a real shame.
It was, but as we said, we talked to our moms before we left and
That's
everything.
good.
You
and
explained
made sure,
it.
it was
That's
good.
very rock and roll of you to think ahead to make sure that you have got Mother's Day under control. I really like that.
That's a new
really
rock and roll. It's very like be on top of Mother's Day.
Thinking about your mom.
Yeah, I mean, rappers love rapping about their moms. They really
Right.
appreciate their moms.
Right.
So you guys should too. That's great.
Yeah.
And you guys have said before that in the creation of your work, it's a really collaborative process from even the most initial stages to the end artwork. Can you maybe tell me why that is, or like talk me through a process of doing that you remember? Maybe someone had an idea and it moved on and progressed.
I mean, it's kind of this like functioning dysfunction, you know? It's like we have multiple songwriters in our band, multiple people who do graphic design, and it's just kind of, I don't know, it's just kind of the process we arrived at, you know, everyone kind of putting their opinions in and kind of throwing it around the room. And
There's no dictator,
Yeah.
single leader, and yeah, well, that seemed like just a great idea when we began. It's now sort of this thing that we're stuck with, but we joke about that a lot because it is actually really hard to, finish a song or to decide on our artwork, which we're all very passionate about. But it's for us, we've been together for so long and we've known each other kind of since we were kids, and like we know each other so well and each other's strengths and everything. And I think in the end, the final product is always this thing that never like would have been if it was just from one person. And so a good example is actually the first song on the record is called You and I, and it was this old idea that Kelsey had for a song, and it kind of had this samba
like on piano and everything.
Yeah, really like kind of crazy rhythm thing going on, and we were working on it and he was so passionate about it, but all of us were kind of like, we loved it, but it wasn't happening. We just kept hitting the wall. And then Ryan and him went into the studio one day and we're like, okay, let's start from scratch. And they totally made it into this very like open, spacious thing. And the whole song just clicked, like going in this completely new direction. And I think that's a good example of what always happens with us, is that...
Because I was going to ask, have either of you ever gotten your feelings hurt in pitching an idea and someone just shot it down? Or
It is just a like fragile like ice sculpture of an ego, like balanced precariously on top of all the others. Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's to be vulnerable with each other can be difficult, but I think that we're at our best when we're able to do that.
Well, that's really the thing about making great art, is that you have to have a really hard exterior but a very soft heart, in terms of like you have to be able to get your ideas thrown to the wall and said they're shit, but then still come back and give more and more and more of yourself.
And you guys are touring Hummingbird at the moment, and the stuff, especially on the new album, is very like quite vocally focused, a lot of harmonies and everything. Have you guys had any classical training for your beautiful pipes?
No classical training. We started singing together in high school, and just, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, none of us really know music theory or anything like that, so we just kind of mess around until it sounds okay.
Were you guys in the same music class at all, or were just friends in friendship groups?
We met in science class.
Yeah, first day
of school, 7th grade.
Yeah.
And Kelsey was playing our very first show. Kelsey's band came to join us. It was like in my dad's like living room. So that's how we met, actually. Yeah.
Wow, that sounds beautiful. It's very majestic of you.
You guys would be quite a shining example of, the people who meet in high school bands. I bet there are many high school bands that are still playing today, still in their parents' living room, just like shaking their fists at you guys. But you're obviously qualified to be where you are. Thank you so much for coming and being with us this afternoon. It's always a pleasure, and we hope you come back to our shores very, very soon.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah.